News 1030 is brought to you by Jagadamba Steel, Deshko Merudanda, and Cell, Jagadamba Cement, Century Bank, Saral Banking, Sabaika Lagi, Real Burst Litchi, the new Ace Mahindra XUV 500. May your life be full of stories. Nepal Top Sub Tic Tac, Midas E-Class.
Good evening, welcome to News 1030. This is Rasna Powder. Let's begin with the headlines. UN Secretary General Moon once again expresses concern over the recent violence in Nepal. CP and UML Vice Chairperson Bhandari assures much awaited constitution by mid-September. Rashtriya Prajatantra Party Nepal decides to take part in remaining task of constitution making. World number 1 Williams comes unstuck against non-seeded Italian Vinci at the US Open. And at least 82 people have been killed in a powerful explosion at a restaurant in India.
संसार जोड़ने यही छड़ आकाश चुना पूछा खेल मारम्दै मनमा बस्दै सबलाई साथ दिन्छ छड्कै आडमा बन्छ विशाल बाँध पुल भवन निर्माण होस् कि जिन्दगी जगदम्बा छड्दै
अब आईएसआई चिन्हद्वारा प्रमाणित देशको मेरुदण्ड जगदम्बा स्टिल।
जिन्दगी भरको कमाईबाट बन्ने घर हेर्दा मात्रै राम्रो भएर हुँदैन, तर तपाईले अब छान्नु छ एउटा यस्तो सिमेन्ट जुन टिक्छ पुस्तौं पुस्तासम्म। त्यसैले आफ्नो घर बनाउने इन्जिनियर र निर्माण व्यवसायीहरूलाई खुलेर भन्नुहोस्, मेरो घर अम्बे सिमेन्टबाट नै बन्नुपर्छ। अम्बे सिमेन्ट, यो देशको शिर उच्च राख्दै।
अब रेड बुल कैश पुल को पुल ऑफरिंग में नगद पुरस्कार अझ धेरैलाई रु 1000, 2000, 5000, 10000, 20000 र 1 लाख।
अब रेड बुल में कैश जित्ने अझै धेरै चान्स।
रेड बुल, the one and only energy drink.
स्ट्याम्प पासपोर्ट्स लियो, टिकट प्रिन्ट आउट। यो के गरेर तिमी?
सक्कराको बन्द गर्ने हैन?
किन?
इलेक्ट्रिसिटी वेस्ट
केही जरुरत छैन। जाने हैन? फ्लाइट मिस हुन्छ, एक्स्ट्रा एफिसिएन्सी, एक्स्ट्रा स्पेस, एक्स्ट्रा फास्ट कुलिङ र केही एक्स्ट्रा बजेट म्यानेजरको लागि पनि।
आरती प्रिमियम चामल प्रस्तुत गर्दछ हात खाली नहुने नगद स्क्रैच कुपनहरू। प्रत्येक बोरा भित्र राखिएका कुपन स्क्रैच गरी रु 40 देखि रु 1000 सम्म नगद प्राप्त गर्नुहोस्। आरती स्क्रैच एन्ड विन धमाका। आरती प्रिमियम चामल, शुभारम्भ शुभ दिनको।
एक हात तिम्रो एक हात मेरो मिली जुली चम्काऊ देशको नाम हाम्रो। मान पाई सानोले शिर उठाई नेपालको झन्डा फरफराऊ। जित पार्छ खुसी साट्छ छपाउँछ गाडी। ABC चोइस हाम्रो।
ABC चोइस इन्स्टेन्ट नुडल्स, प्रोटिन र मिनरल्सले युक्त मेरो चोइस सबैको चोइस। ABC चोइस।
Welcome back. Now the news in detail. United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon has once again expressed his concern over the recent violence in Nepal. In a statement through his spokesperson, the UN chief is following closely the situation in the South Asian nations, which is in the last stages of preparing a new constitution. However, Ban is saddened by the loss of lives in Nepal. As many as 40 people, including protesters and security personnel, have been killed in violent protests in different districts of southern Nepal since 1 month. He has stressed the importance of dialogue and non-violence, as well as respect for peaceful protest and freedom of assembly. The Secretary General has welcomed the decision of the political parties to pause temporarily the constitution voting process. He has urged all stakeholders to use this opportunity to engage in meaningful dialogue. The United Democratic Madhesi Front and different Tharu bodies have been launching agitation in the Tarai Madhes belt, demanding autonomous states for them and protesting the major three parties' decision on 7-province model and the boundaries of purported federal units. CPN-UML Vice Chairperson Vidya Devi Bhandari said that the much-awaited constitution would be promulgated by mid-September. She was speaking at an interaction organized at the Reporters Club in the capital on Saturday. She urged public to be optimistic towards the promulgation of the constitution by mid-September. The UML leader went on to say that the constitution drafting process would not be halted on any pretext now. She added that the voting process on the final draft and amendment proposals would begin from tomorrow itself. Accusing the Madhesi leaders of trying to lead the ongoing agitation in Tarai toward a form of communal riot, leader Bhandari said that the Nepal army personnel have been deployed for the security of Tarai people, which is the reason that the Nepal army personnel mobilized in Tarai would not be called back. She further claimed that a province incorporating all districts of Tarai region from Chapa to Kanchanpur could not be carved out any cost. Nepali Congress leader Arjun Narsingh Khesi and Unified Maoist leader Agni Sapkota were among the leaders to give view in the program. Rashtriya Prajatantra Party Nepal has decided to take part in the remaining task of constitution making. A central working committee meeting held at the party office in Kathmandu on Saturday made the decision to that effect. The fourth largest party, which won 25 seats in the Constituent Assembly, had on Wednesday decided to withdraw from the constitution drafting process, accusing the three major parties, Nepal Congress, CPN-UML and Unified Maoist, of ignoring people's aspiration and practicing politics of restriction. Following the party's decision, three major parties had invited the RPP Nepal for talks. The party has been demanding that Nepal to be declared a Hindu state in the country's new constitution. With the Constitution Assembly process delayed by 2 days to bring the disgruntled parties on board, the leaders affiliated to United Democratic Madhesi Front have returned to Kathmandu. Federal Socialist Forum Nepal Chairman Upendra Yadav returned to Kathmandu while the agitation program was continuing in Tauli Hawa of Kapilvastu district on Friday. Yadav has now reached Bhojpur after holding informal talks with some leaders in Kathmandu. Similarly, Tarai Madhes Democratic Party Chairman Mahanta Thakur and Tarai Madhes Sadbhavana Party leader Mahendra Rai Yadav have arrived in Kathmandu by a morning flight from Bhairava today. However, Rajendra Mahato has not yet returned to Kathmandu. Mahato is in Janakpur to attend the condolence assembly of the cadre killed in the region yesterday. He is maintaining that the talks with the government should be held in the Tarai region. Following call for talks by the three major parties, the informal talks with disgruntled parties have been intensified. The three major parties are holding talks to this end. It's time for a short break. Please stay tuned.
पल पल सारा को खुशियाली हर पल को जिम्मेवारी यसैमा छ यसैको काँधमा छ
अनुभवी भरपर्दो र मजबूत एक जिम्मेवार ओपीसी सीमेंट जगदम्बा अल्ट्रा प्रीमियम ओपीसी सीमेंट.
Hey, how's the new house looking? Hello.
It's presenting the new Aspira from Royale, a paint technologically so advanced it comes with a 5-year warranty and Teflon surface protector. Aspira from Royale, it's beyond words.
यो हो वज्रशक्ति सिमेन्ट, सशक्त र दिगो निर्माणको लागि नेपाल गुणस्तर चिन्ह प्राप्त वज्रशक्ति सिमेन्ट, शक्ति र रक्षाको प्रतीक.
मिडास ई क्लासमा भिडियो हेर्दै गेम खेल्दै पढ्न पाए अरु के चाहियो र?
मिडास ई क्लासमा त मेरो किताबको सबै लेसनहरुको अडियो भिडियो छ अनि गेम पनि छ।
आजको युगमा मिडास ई क्लास प्रयोग नगरे त बच्चाहरु पछि परिहाल्छन् नि।
हैन के गरेर बोलिङ गरे? राम्ररी बोलिङ गर्न सक्दैन थियो?
तैले पनि त राम्रोसँग क्याच गर्न सक्तिस नि।
हे कति होला गर्नु भा के तपाईहरु?
तिमी एकछिन बाहिर जाऊ त। आजैसँग म कुरा गरेर छोड्छु।
हेर्न पनि दिनुहुन्न।
Crazy about cricket. Ruslan, 100% pure cricket.
म राजेश हमार यस पटकको नाडा अटो शोमा गएर गाडीको सम्पूर्ण जानकारी सहित आफ्नो रोजाइको गाडी रोज्न जाँदैछु। के तपाईहरु पनि रोज्न आउँदै हुनुहुन्छ? यही मिति 2072 भाद्र 29 देखि असोज 3 गतेसम्म काठमाडौँको भृकुटी मण्डपमा हुन गइरहेको नेपालकै सर्वाधिक बृहत अटो शो नाडा अटो शोमा तपाईहरु पनि सहभागी हुनुहोस्।
छरिएका सपनाहरु जब एक हुन्छ लाखौंको भिडमा पनि उसले आकाश हुन्छ। युगौं युग नमेटिने इतिहास रचाई जोड्दैछ सारा नेपालीलाई जोड्दैछ सारा नेपालीलाई।
सिद्धार्थ सिमेन्ट जोड्दैछ सारा नेपालीलाई।
I want to tell you something about the paint I've been using in my new home.
Technology and innovation with 5-year warranty and Teflon surface protector make Royal Aspira so beautiful that it's beyond words.
Welcome back. Let's continue with national update. Agitating cadres of the United Democratic Madhesi Front set 3 trucks laden with sugar on fire for defying curfew in Bara on Saturday. Police say that the agitators along the Kalaya-Pilua road section tourist these trucks that had left for Kathmandu from Reliance Sugar and Chemical Industries in Sripur, Manaharwa, 5 this morning. Eyewitnesses of the incident say that as soon as the trucks left for Kathmandu from the mill, a group of 20 to 25 persons intercepted the trucks, assaulted the drivers and torched the vehicles. He informed that property worth around 3.3 million rupees was destroyed in the arson. Police informed that 2 trucks were completely gutted in the incident. In addition, it said that they were looking into the case. Now 24 social development update. According to the group's Women, Business and the Law 2016 report, women in South Asia continue to trial their peers in many other parts of the world at discriminatory laws throughout their economic advancement, says the World Bank. A report.
The report, published every 2 years, examines law that impede women's employment and entrepreneurship in 173 economies throughout the world. The 2016 edition expands coverage in South Asia from 5 to 8 economies, adding Afghanistan, Bhutan, and the Maldives. Several economies from the South Asia region are among the most restrictive in the world in the dimensions measured, affecting women's entrepreneurship and employment. The region as a whole has been lagging in enacting reforms in the areas measured by the report, with only 3 reforms made into economies in the past 2 years. Afghanistan, which is one of the most restrictive economies in the world, imposes more than 20 legal barriers to women's economic inclusion. The report finds that in Afghanistan, married women cannot choose where to live, apply for a passport, or obtain a national ID card in the same way as married men. Women also cannot work in the same jobs as men. In India, the region's largest economy with 612 million women, job restrictions remain widespread, with women not allowed to work in mining or in jobs that require lifting weights above a certain threshold or working with glass. The law also prohibits women from jobs involving danger to life, health, or morals. In addition, there are no laws to protect women against sexual harassment in public places, protections which exist in 18 other economies around the world. In the last 2 years, India undertook one reform in the areas monitored by the report. By introducing a law mandating at least one female member on the board of publicly listed companies, India became the only developing country and one of only 9 countries in the world to mandate female inclusion or corporate boards. In Pakistan, many restrictions on women prevail. In order to register a business, married women need to include their husband's name, nationality, and address, and they need to do this in the presence of a witness. Women are also barred from working in many jobs, including those in factories and in mining. And there are no laws guaranteeing women equal remuneration for work of equal value, and no laws mandating non-discrimination based on gender in hiring. However, Pakistan issued 2 reforms in the past 2 years. It set the legal age of marriage for both boys and girls at 18 years and introduced criminal sanction for men who contract marriage with a minor and anyone who performs, facilitates or permits underage marriage. Pakistan also introduced a 20% quota for women in local government. Legal discrimination, which can affect female labor force participation, is also prevalent in Sri Lanka. Women are prohibited from working in the mining sector and restricted from certain tasks, functions in factories. Moreover, there are no laws against gender-based discrimination in hiring or access to credit. In Bangladesh, women face job restrictions such as working in certain factory jobs or working in certain occupations such as mining, and in Nepal, women cannot confer citizenship to their children or to their non-national spouse in the same way as men. This limits access to government services for some of the country's most marginalized children. And in Bhutan, according to the Companies Act, a women director of a company must include her husband's name, address, and nationality within the company registry.
Now it's time for a business update.
Business news in association with ICFC Finance Limited, your complete banking solution. LG Smart Refrigerator, NB Bank Limited, the bank for everyone.
The Nepal Stock Exchange NEPSE eased up 2.02 points to close at 1,168.71 points last week. The secondary market that opened at 1,166.69 points on Monday rose successively for 2 days before following downward spiral in last 2 trading days. Of 9 trading groups, 4 including manufacturing, commercial banks, development banks and finance companies witnessed and increased their indices, with adding up 13.44 points in its index. Manufacturing was the top gainer. Similarly, insurance group with plunging 122.07 points was the top loser. Hotels, hydropower companies and other groups followed it. The NEPSE of trading group was stable at 206.99 points throughout the weekdays. The sensitive index that measures the performance of A-class companies also skeleted 1.24 points to close at 252.25 points. The turnover amount last week dipped 13.85%, worth 2.17 billion rupees. During the review period, the number of traded shares increased to 5.46 million units from 4.05 million units. Regarding the individual companies, Nabil Bank promoters shares the lead in terms of transaction amount. It posted transaction worth 169.27 million rupees. Nepal Investment Bank promoters shares Everest Bank and ICICI Bank and National Life Insurance were also among the top 5, with having the biggest turnovers amount. With holding turnover of 1.411 million shares, Siddharth Investment Growth Scheme 1 topped in terms of the number of traded shares. It's time for another break. Do stay with us.
केहीले जोड्नु पर्छ यसले जोड्छ होला कोही छैन लगिहालौं
सानो होस् या ठुलो निर्माण बलियो हुन जरुरी छ ओरिएन्ट पीपीसी सिमेन्ट बलियो निर्माणको लागि
टेक्नोलोजी सँगै हामी पनि अघि बढिरहेका छौं हरेक कुरा डिजिटल भइरहेको छ भने टिभी हेर्ने तरिका किन सधैं उस्तै त त्यसैले त हामीले घरमा क्लियर टिभी जोडिसक्यौं
धेरै एचडी च्यानलहरु सहित प्रष्ट टिभी हेराइको अनुभव लिनका लागि घर ल्याउनुहोस् क्लियर टिभी
प्लिज डिनर रेडी भइसक्यो जाऊ न
क्लियर टिभी
Welcome back. Now some sports update.
Sports news in association with Red Bull, the one and only energy drink.
26 times Serena Williams had played a Grand Slam match in 2015. In addition, all 26 times she emerged triumphant. However, in her 27th encounter, the world number 1 came unstuck against a stubborn Italian Roberta Vinci, who was not even seated at the US Open. Vinci, best known for formerly being the world's top-ranked doubles players, stunned Williams 2-6, 6-4, 6-4 in one of the greatest shocks in tennis history to end the Americans' chances of completing this calendar year Grand Slam. Williams had toiled in quite a few of her past Grand Slam tussles this year, but always found a way to win. Not again the 43rd ranked Vinci, though, who not only overturned a set deficit but also came back from 2-0 down in the third against the 3-time defending champion. Prior to Friday, Vinci lost all 4 of their head-to-heads without claiming a set. So instead of Williams trying to emulate Steffi Graf's achievement of 1988, it will be an all-Italian US Open final Saturday after Flavia Pennetta upset second-ranked Simona Halep 6-3, 6-1 in Friday's first women's semi-final. That was a minor upset in comparison to Vinci's cup. Meanwhile, Roger Federer served superbly once again as he beat Stan Wawrinka to set up a US Open final against Novak Djokovic. Second seed Federer beat his fellow Swiss 6-4, 6-3, 6-1 to reach the final without losing a set and having dropped serve just twice. The 34-year-old goes on to face top seed Djokovic, who thrashed defending champion Marin Cilic 6-0, 6-1, 6-2. It will be the first US Open final since 2009 for Federer. Stephen Naismith scored a hat-trick as Chelsea's struggles continued with a third loss in the opening 5 league games following a defeat at Everton. Naismith came on for the injured Mohamed Basic early on and hidden in Brendan Galloway's cross before rifling in a shot to put the Toffees 2-0 up. Chelsea responded when Nemanja Matic scored with a superb 30-yard effort. However, the visitors struggled for chances and Naismith slotted in a late angle strike to complete his treble. Chelsea's tally of 4 points from a possible 15 means they have made their worst start to a top-flight season since 1986. The Blues lost only 3 games on the way to the Premier League title last season. Chelsea's failed pursuit of Everton centre-back John Stones and reports they had transfer deadline day offer for Paris Saint-Germain defender Marquinhos rejected those where manager Jose Mourinho thinks he needs strengthened. Mourinho chose Kurt Joama to collaborate John Terry, who was back from a 1-game suspension in central defence and left Gary Cahill on the bench. He also recalled John Mikel-Obi to partner Matic and reinforce the defensive side of his midfield. But the Blues were quickly down while keeper Asmir Bezovic, in further injured Thibaut Courtois, was regularly called upon and made several smart saves, including Danny Arauna-Kone, James McCarthy and Romelu Lukaku. Mourinho's side has now let in 12 goals this season. Now some international updates. At least 82 people have been killed in a powerful explosion that tore through a restaurant in Petlawad in the Indian state of Madhya Pradesh. It was packed with workers and school children eating breakfast. The exact cause of the blast is unclear. Police first said a cooking gas cylinder exploded and later added that explosives being stored nearby may also have caught fire. Rescue efforts are continuing and nearby buildings have been evacuated. At least 35 people are in hospitals with injuries. Police have struggled to keep hundreds of onlookers and people looking for their relatives away from the site. The restaurant was close to a busy bus stop. The blast knocked down neighboring buildings and damaged several others. Petlawad is in Jabua district where there are several manganese and bauxite mines, and many mine workers are hired on contract from the town, which is about 850 kilometers south of the capital, New Delhi. Saudi Arabia has begun an investigation into why a crane collapsed in the Muslim holy city to Mecca, killing at least 107 people. The huge red crane crashed into a part of the Grand Mosque as it was filled with worshippers less than 2 weeks before the annual Hajj pilgrimage. Officials say strong winds and heavy rains caused the crane to fall. Correspondents say there have previously been concerned about safety on Saudi construction sites. The Grand Masjid, known as the Masjid al-Haram, is the largest masjid in the world and surrounds Islam's holiest place, the Kaaba. At least 230 people were injured in the incident. It is unclear how many people were hurt by the collapse or the stampede that followed it. Those killed are reported to include Indonesian, Indian, Iranian, and Egyptian citizens. The head of the Saudi Arabia Civil Defense Agency, Lieutenant Sulaiman bin Abdullah Al-Amar, said an investigation was being carried out to assess the damage and the extent of the safety of this site. Isam Al-Ghalib, a Jeddah-based journalist, said the crane fell through the outer ring of the Grand Masjid and punctured through the roof, sending down tons of cement and debris onto people either praying or walking through. Up to 2 million people are expected to arrive in Mecca for the Hajj from all over the world later this month. Time for weather update now. That was the weather update. Before we wrap up, reminder of the headlines. UN Secretary General Moon once again expresses concern over the recent violence in Nepal. CPN UML Vice Chairperson Bhandari assures much awaited constitution by mid-September. Rashtriya Prajatantra Party Nepal decides to take part in remaining task of constitution making. World number 1 Williams comes unstuck against non-seeded Italian Vinci at the US Open. And at least 82 people have been killed in a powerful explosion at a restaurant in India. That's all for now in this bulletin. Thank you for watching news. Good night. Namaste.